this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no
a
one.
second.
Oh, no.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. Septum Sin versus the world. 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 I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching Septum Sen versus the World.
Yes.
I'm Septum Sen, this is Kotobuki Jake.
Hi.
And we're here to show you what they got.
Right.
No Gundam.
Oh.
But we do got other things.
Yes.
Right now.
Run, jump, platformer. Step on the bad guys, that's what you do. To save our princess, all the world. Run, jump, platformer. It's up all day and night. Never running left, it's always running right. You pretty baby. Platform and you run, platform and you jump, platform and you run, platform and you jump, platform and you lost, platform sing the girl, platform and you run again and you jump, platform yes you run, platform and you jump, platform and you run, platform and you jump, platform so you never play. Run, jump, platformer. You've come to a point you don't know what to do.
Oh, fuck this. This is a puzzle game. Check that shit out. I'm not fucking playing that shit.
Run, jump, platformer. Pretend I'm another game, you'll be okay. Keep running right till the end of the day. You really make me. Platform and you run, platform and you jump, platform and you run, and you jump, platform fight your boss, save the girl, platform and you run again and you jump, platform and you run, platform and you jump, platform and you run, platform and you jump, platform that's all you ever fucking know.
Alright, well, you got to actually see the slideshow this time.
Yeah.
You got to see, what was it, Platformer, I believe.
I believe so.
By the great Yesei singing that one.
Sure.
Yesei Asha. You should really familiarize yourself with the Rebel Gaming Club. They've done so much for our channel. See, I am
Somewhat.
button for them right now.
Yeah. So, those of you who are paying attention and those who are not, we are filming this on a day where a major event for film nerds has happened. Mm-hmm. Our yearly dose of the Oscar nominations came out, and so we will be furiously debating them for the next week or 5. And on that note, I'm going to start us off with a movie that most assuredly is not up for an Oscar. Although, in a perfect world, it would have been. I'm speaking, of course, of the animated remake of Charles Addams' beloved family, The Addams Family. Dum, dum, da, da, da. Yeah. This came out last fall, and I really wanted to go see it. And I kept hearing all this so-so stuff, and no one really wanted to go. And I still wanted to see it, and I never did end up seeing it. I finally do have a hold on it for the library. Unfortunately, I have heard that it is a pale shadow of the not only the original series, but also the, like, you got the original comic strip, you've got the TV show with John Astin and Carolyn Jones, and then you had the movies with Raul Julia, Angelica Houston, and Christina Ricci.
I mean,
the movies are friggin' classics. Not the third one; it does not exist.
What third one?
Yes. And the TV show is great. It gets a little old. There's some stuff you wouldn't get away with nowadays.
Yeah.
Definitely some non-PC stuff. But overall, the family is creepy and kooky and all sorts of ooky, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And supposedly the animated one is not so fun, but I will still see it.
Oh, I was going through when I was doing the TV video that went up actually the day we're filming today, where we continued and I'll talk a little bit more about this on the vlogcast, but continued that collection stroll, and this time into TV, of course. So Addams Family came up for the first 10 shows that were in that collection. And you know, it's interesting that one of the special features is that they have a commentary on the episodes by Cousin It and Thing. So I'm trying to think of what the Cousin It's like, and you know and of course Thing, I guess maybe like
sign language sort
maybe
of
signing throughout the whole thing, like. But yeah, it just is interesting. I had no interest in this. I'll admit, though, those live action ones. I mean, Christina Ricci's performance. I don't think there could be a better take on Wednesday Addams. You'll think it's almost builds on the original.
She definitely overtopped the original.
Yes.
It's harder to say with the adults. Raul Julia and Angelica Houston were brilliant. They were perfect. But so were John Astin and Carolyn Jones. They were just different versions. They were,
Now, one that I feel like I'm really excited about is the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. That is coming out. I have it on pre-order. I have very little money left. But I have a few things that came from the Christmas orders, and this was one of them. That money that I had spent on Christmas. And I really want to see this. I've wanted to see this since... What are you playing with, cat?
I gotta say, I wish I could have gone to the Traveling Road show. That would have been great.
Yeah, they're coming to Richmond on Valentine's Day of all days. I couldn't get any interest from my wife on going, and you really need to have your significant other on board for Valentine's Day.
Well, again, day after.
A day after, but even then, still.
Well, and also, it's pricey.
It is pricey.
But it would be
paying
cool
for the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
But still, it would have been cool. And I really look forward to this, and I will enjoy seeing this.
And I do have a hold on both that and Addams Family from the library. I have holds on a couple of these, actually. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and mention one that I've owned for, I think I own. I honestly can't remember. I think I do. Never seen it, though. Maybe I don't own it. Anyway, there's a movie I wanted to see for a while, and if I remember correctly, I think it's getting a Shout re-release this week, and that's the Gwyneth Paltrow star Sliding Doors. I cannot for the life of me remember if I've seen the film. I don't think I have, but maybe I did. But I know a little bit of what it's about. It's supposed to be sort of like an alternate, like a what if style story, you know, like it could have gone either way, if that makes sense. Alternate reality kind of story. But, I guess since Miss Paltrow has announced she's retired from acting, now they're going back and digging into her old catalog. I don't know. But, we'll see if she means that, you know. But
Well,
Yeah.
on your next one, pick one that you're going to talk a little while, because I think I need to put Mr. Anderson up.
okay. Well, go ahead.
He's being a little bit of a energetic
Okay.
cat.
Well, I guess do your short one, and then we'll.
Well, one that's coming out on Steelbook. Matter of fact, there's two. We'll get to both of those this time. Sentai is re-releasing two of their iconic series on Steelbook, ecchi type series. The first is probably the one that kicked off the Monster Girl kind of movement in the anime, which
surely
would be
made it popular for a minute.
Monster Musume. And it really was popular for a moment. I think it kind of lost that now. I don't see as much about them anymore. But just felt like there were a lot of Monster Girl things. Centaur's Life, Everyday Life of Monster Girls or something like that. And I'm not a huge one into the genre, but this is one that, you know, struck me as I would like to try and see it. So,
There's also the curiosity, because A, it is well regarded, and B, Sentai's premium edition of this sold out like nobody's business.
and
It was insane.
And this is an okay one. I mean, you've got different types of these monster girls. I've actually seen this, but I mean, this one here is the main love interest, and she routinely tries to kill the main character. But of course, it's a harem of monster girls.
She's a Lamia, right?
Yes,
Not to be confused with a llama.
llama face. But as things go, it was decent enough. I didn't consider it all that great or all that bad. I mean, it's a harem.
But
It's
if
a
you-
harem with a twist.
If you missed out on the opportunity to get the big fancy one, having
It's a
it on
Steelbook.
Steelbook, yeah, that'll
It's a
still
good
look
consolation
cool. Yeah.
prize, yes. I think so.
But since we both bought standard sets, we'll probably be stuck with those. So I'll go ahead and talk about the next one that's being released that I do have a hold on through the library. This one is now officially a newly minted Oscar nominee, a double nominee, and that is the film by Pedro Almodovar called Pain and Glory. It is a Spanish language film that the director has stated is kind of, sort of, semi-autobiographical. It's nowhere near as autobiographical as last year's Roma by Alfonso Cuarón. Probably kind of in the vein of Federico Fellini's 8½, but it's that sort of film where a director kind of looking back on his life and work and that sort of thing. And the director at the center of the film is played by Oscar-nominated actor Antonio Banderas. This is the first time we can say this. It is freaking stupid that he has never been nominated before, but he is nominated now. And supposedly it is his great performance. The film is also, of course, nominated. We have a new riff on an old category this year. Best International Feature instead of Best Foreign Language Feature, even though there were two films that were kicked out of the running because they didn't have enough, they had too much English. So it's still Foreign Language Feature. But Pain and Glory is a Spanish production. It does also feature Penelope Cruz. It's probably a really good film. I really want to see it. I am waiting for it from the library. The likelihood that I'll be able to see my copy or that copy before the Oscars, since they're so freaking early this year, is pretty minimal. But for those of you who are Almodovar fans, or Antonio Banderas fans, or Penelope Cruz fans, or you just really want to get your Oscar kick in early, go ahead and get it. It's going to be well worth getting and well worth watching. I've seen several Almodovar films, and he is a very skilled director. So, yeah, it'll be good.
Well, you know what's funny is I kept mixing this up with Pain and Gain, which is probably not as artistic a movie.
Probably not.
So, I don't know, I just kept thinking, why did that one get the nomination?
Yeah.
Oh, well, the strange things that we see.
Yep.
Well, normally this would not be on my radar, but thanks to me getting the first, I think, 3 sets now. Let me see here. I think I've got the first 3 last
That's what
time.
was on sale.
Yeah, so I have now dedicated to the Boruto series, which now there's set 4. Now, again, it has been reassured that once this series ends, that's the end of the Naruto story in total. But who knows when this will end? Maybe in another 50 volumes, or...
And maybe, he is saying the end of the Naruto story. Maybe the next the thing that Kishimoto will do will be one of Sasuke's distant cousins. Or
maybe it'll be Boruto's son. And we'll just keep following the line down.
Yes.
Do these authors have to die before we get an end to their series and they try something new?
So, next one up, and I am trying to remember who this person is associated with. So I'll come back to it. We have a pair of documentaries coming out this year about very different topics this week. And one of them I'm curious about, I'd like to see. It's called Bluebird. And I feel like I did hear about this at some point and forgot about it. But my best guess is that it's about the Bluebird Cafe, which, if you know anything at all about country music, you know that this has been a major launching off point for a lot of careers.
It's similar.
And that's what I was trying to think of. I remember seeing several big names on the cover. I'm not going to bother trying to list them all, but again, I have in the past been a very big country fan, less so nowadays, but I still enjoy good music no matter what genre it is, and there is a lot of good music in that genre. And the Bluebird Cafe, as a career maker, I mean, that's a major career maker. So it's very. I'd be curious to see something about the history of the place. So, so if I'm correct that that's the tenor of this film, I'll be interested in that. Yeah.
So another one that Sentai is doing a Steelbook release of is No Game, No Life. Now this is a pretty cool thing because it actually combines 2 releases, and I have these in the 2. And of course, I did not get the limited edition of the original. That one sold out as well. That one's also fairly popular.
I think the sequel is still pretty easy to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, again, it's person gets thrown into a fantastical video game world, that stuff.
The Isekai.
Yeah,
that one's all over the place nowadays.
And the stakes seem to be a bit higher, like end of the world or something like that, but I haven't seen it, so I can't really say for sure, but this is my copy of the of that. And the movie kind of builds upon the world, which is that, and I'll show more of that later. You'll have to check out the pickups to get a better look at that one, which,
And now that is a franchise I have not yet launched into, so I might be looking at this Steelbook.
So, I mean, it was cheap at the time, and I wanted to get it. I mean, that one there, I mean, can go exceptionally cheap on that. So, you know, at the same time, I'm kind of glad that I have a copy. But for those of you who want it all in a nice steelbook, there you go.
There you go. The other documentary is going to be one that is probably going to be a tough watch, but one that is a topic that's very, very important in my estimation. The film is called Anthropocene, The Human Epoch. There is a widely held belief that I definitely subscribe to, and certain individuals out there deny, that we are now in what is called the Anthropocene, which is we are in an era in the world's history where the primary shaping force of that era is a single species, namely mankind.
Yeah.
We have basically dicked over the world for the past few thousand years, particularly the past couple hundred years. There are people who believe this is all BS. I'm pretty sure those people would get nothing out of this documentary. Anyone who has an open mind and common sense will probably get a lot out of this documentary.
Tell us how you really feel.
I don't hold back on this one topic. We try to be kind on politics, but when it comes to destroying the planet, I'm not going to hold back and play it safe. I want to see this. I dread seeing it, but I think it's probably going to be a very valuable watch, and I'll certainly try and get hold of it.
And very depressing. Probably
very depressing. I'll probably want to watch something fun afterwards, like
Zombieland.
Jay and Silent Bob, or Monster Musume, or this would be a segue to...
Yeah, so Zombieland Double Tap is finally releasing. I've heard mixed things about it.
I've heard mostly good things.
Yeah, a lot of the people I've talked to have said that it didn't build that much off of the original. And, of course, I haven't seen it.
Meh.
And I mean, it came and it went fairly quickly, so I wasn't able to get out to theaters to see it.
Yeah.
But I do plan on eventually getting it in my collection. Probably when it's on sale.
I have a hold on this one from the library too, but this one already has a huge number of people waiting, so I'm going to be waiting a while.
Yeah, I'm in no rush. I want to see it.
I don't know who you talked to, though, because I heard almost unanimously glowing reviews about it. I just wish I had gotten to go see it. Yeah.
Well, again, it just is what it is. I mean, shoot, one of the people in ours, well, actually, that is something that's going on. Has said that the Oscars is something that isn't worth watching.
Oh, yeah. So, I've heard that said.
And, I mean, shoot, one person I talked to says that none of the films nominated for the Oscars has any worth in good film because they're all political-only nominations.
Hey, that's some BS. And actually, watch our video later about the nominees.
Oh, yeah.
Because I brought along a little thing where I can compare my list with the nominees, and I gotta say, the films that are heavily nominated that I've seen this year were good films.
We got a lot to fit in an hour.
Now there were a couple that were not so good that were nominated, but you know. Anyway, the next one I'm going to mention is a film that kind of came and went, and I don't think I'd ever even heard of it. And he put it on my list, but then I was like, you know what, I should talk about it. It's the new film from Keiichi Hara, who did Miss Hokusai and also Colorful, which I do own.
I own that as well.
I've seen Miss Hokusai and I own Colorful. Go figure. You own them both.
I own them both.
You own them both.
And I have also watched but I have watched Colorful, just not the one that
that's a totally different. I have that one as well. Keiichi Hara has a new film called Summer Days with Ku, which, as I understand it, is about a boy and his kappa. That's really all I know about it. But
All you need to know.
I did not think this was an extraordinary film, but I thought it was interesting. It was beautifully animated. I really enjoyed the visuals, and I've heard that colorful is gorgeous as well. So even though the initial artwork I saw for Summer Days with Koo looked kind of I'm sure it's probably a visually impressive film.
Yeah.
And I will give it a go if I ever get a chance to. And yeah,
So many.
I know.
Well, another one that's pretty cool that's out there, and one you may have seen. I know I have
No,
not.
I need
Because you
to.
like Westerns.
But that's one of the original Oscar
Oh, yes.
winners.
And this is Cimarron. It's
Yeah.
getting a re-release. I want to say Kino might be releasing this.
Okay.
They seem to be behind a lot of those. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all be seeing proof of that up here. But this is one of those with the great push west.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about this film. I've not seen it, but I own it because it is an Oscar winner.
Didn't
and I
it
will
win
watch
for
it eventually.
cinematography? It tells you on the
has
cover,
three
doesn't it?
It actually
Best Picture?
earned it 3 awards, including
Oh.
Best Picture. So we know that one definitely.
I think it tells you on the cover. Oh no, that's the same thing.
It says Best Picture,
Yeah.
1930.
yeah.
There's something glamorous about the Oscars, and we'll talk more about that in that. It's going to be an action-packed hour. You won't be seeing us moving, but you're definitely going to hear it. It's going to be an action-packed podcast.
Yes.
Because we got to fit a lot of information in.
Lots
an
of
hour.
throwing things and smashing things. And
So you got one more for us.
yes,
away.
one more. We have a Criterion release this week. I think it's a French film. It's probably a pretentious, boring French film. It's called Le Petit Soldat. That's all I have on that one. It's a Criterion release, so it's on my radar. But
Let's see.
yeah. So that'll do for me for this week. You're done, right? Da, 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 da. All right.
Alright, that's a little bit better. I think that light was just kind of...
Oh yeah.
So it won't be blinding you in the next video. Well, we'll see you on the next one.